Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do another episode on the basics of strength training, and really I'm going to hone in on something that you're probably all familiar with, and that's this thing right here, right? The scale. And specifically, I want to talk about, hey, when you're entering your first powerlifting competition, and as you're growing as a competitive powerlifter, how do you choose the right weight class or make these decisions to go up or down a weight class? So let's go ahead and get into it. So, usually, as people are getting into powerlifting, choosing a weight class is one of the first things that they think about, right? I hear it all the time in the gym, right? How competitive would I be? This is my weight. And usually it's followed with the comment of, this is my weight, and I think I can cut down to this weight class, whatever it may be. And that goes back to just human nature, right? We always want um, instant gratification, and I do not blame anyone for wanting to win their first powerlifting meet, or if they're curious about how they stack up against people in different weight classes. But in order to make the right decision, we have to take a step back and really analyze this long-term approach for our training and, hey, what's the right decision here? So, in order to put that in perspective, I actually want to start with a bit of an anecdote myself, right? As I first started into powerlifting, I was weighing about 107 kilos. That's about 237 pounds. And at the time, the weight class in USA powerlifting was 110 kilos. So I was nice and under that. And the next one down would have been 100 kilograms. Now, at the time, I was in high school and I was playing baseball. I had finished up football, so I was doing other things while I was training for this powerlifting competition. And really, I see that looking back, it was a benefit because in my head, I could not prioritize making my weight something specific. And I ended up going into the meet, whatever I weighed in at. And that set me up to be successful, right? Because that's one less variable that you have to worry about on the day of. And your first competition is already going to be stressful as it is. Now, the real example here I want to look at just after my first meet. So, after I competed as a 110, I weighed in at 107 kilos. USA Powerlifting split the weight classes, right? So 110 went away and it went down to 105 or 120 kilograms. And that's those are still the IPF accepted weight classes of today that I compete within. Now, I had a choice as a young kid, right? I was 107 kilograms. I could cut a little bit and make 105, or I could eat and gain weight and go up to 120 kilograms. And in hindsight, I ended up making the right decision to say, hey, forget cutting. That does not sound fun for me, right? Because uh, we're all in it just for fun and powerlifting. Let me eat and see how strong I can get. So that choice right there set me up for my freshman year of college as I was 18, turning 19 throughout the course of the year. And I was able to eat while I was training very hard. And I had a new flexible college schedule to accommodate that training. And it was this perfect storm. And my total went from 600 kilograms at 107 kilos all the way up to a year and a half later, right, the following August, um, 805 kilograms. So I had put over 200 kilos, 440 plus pounds on my total in that 1 year. And at the time, I weighed in at like 117 kilos, something like that, I believe. So I put on 20 pounds of body weight, and in return, I got 450 pounds onto my total. Now, if we back that up, had I made the decision, right, in my head, let's cut 2 kilos to be competitive, sure, I may have gotten stronger, but would I have gotten 205 kilograms on my total in a year and a half of training? No, probably not. And that starts a cascade, right? That first year and a half got me addicted to the sport because I was getting so strong so fast, right? And I think people can benefit from growing, right? Allowing yourself to grow into that weight class. Don't worry about cutting the weight, and your total will reap the rewards. Second thing I want to talk about having to do with making weight classes is going to be your age and your experience, right? So, in my story about me cutting weight or gaining weight, I was very young, right? And it proved to be helpful to move up a weight class and gain that weight as I was hitting a growth spurt at 18 or 19. Um, Nowadays, right, I am still a 120 kilogram lifter as I'm 26, 27 years old um, nowadays, right? So I've given myself time to settle into this weight class, and as my training experience has continued, I am now to the point where I cut down, right? And I manage my weight to stay in that weight class because I'm more experienced, right? And that's worth saying. If you are very young, do not worry about cutting weight. I see it all the time, wrestlers especially in class, and it's unfortunate, right? Falling asleep, very tired, lethargic. I'll be like, how's that weight cut going? Like, oh, I'm miserable. I'm not eating. That's a perfect example of someone who's in a time of their life where they should be growing and eating and fueling that growth spurt, and they're artificially hindering their performance, whether we like it or not, by cutting down into a weight class. But in the moment, it seems like they're helping themselves because they're saying, oh, I'm more competitive on the weight class down. Just like I could have thought the same thing as a new powerlifter. Could have said, I'd be more competitive as a 105 with my current total. But what people don't see is with that weight gain, you're going to get total gains, and maybe you'll be more competitive in the long run in this heavier weight class. So if you are younger, I would just like to urge you to think twice before you cut any major weight. And if you are looking to get into a powerlifting meet, the first meet is tough, right? Don't add an extra variable with cutting weight and making a weight class. Just go and enjoy the day. And then as you get further into this game, you can make the decision to fit into a weight class to be more competitive, right? So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. Trying to make more of these. And until next time, you all take care and happy lifting.